Who is the true face of criminality? Not the image that pops into your head when you think of a criminal, but what does the actual data say? Because we've been fed a narrative for many years, for as long as the television has been invented, of what a criminal typically looks like. But they conveniently leave out the biggest criminals in history. So I'm going to go into a deep dive in this particular series. My goal is to dispel the lies and the slander destroying black males' images worldwide and to expose the truth. This series will compare and contrast the difference in portrayal versus actual crime committed. We're going to go into a deep dive on the DuPont company and their executives and how the action of few caused the unaliving of an innumerable amount of people. This shows the clear power of media and how when the wolf has control of it, he can paint himself as innocent and the sheep as violent. This is very, very dangerous because image is everything, people. Image is everything. If you care about truth, you should care about this channel. If you're a black man, you should care about this channel. Why? Because this affects you directly. If you can't see that, then sir, you are a fool. This is one of the most important things that you will come across on the internet. If you don't believe me on how important image is, go and ask any branding company and they'll tell you. Hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can receive all of the new videos coming out. Because trust me when I say, I'm just getting started, baby. I'm just getting started. There's no way that we should have the image of being criminals. That honor should be reserved to those that commit the most crime. And in no way am I saying that everyone that looks like that is a criminal. But if we're going to put an image to it, let's be truthful. It's funny how people try to throw around crime rates and statistics and dangerous neighborhoods and certain types of people and all these different things. They got so much to say on X and these different social media platforms. But when it comes to a few people, right, and they call themselves executives or whatnot, that unalive tens of thousands of people by their deliberate actions and destroy whole towns and face no jail time. These same people are strangely very quiet. Let's take a look into one of the biggest examples in American history. Only one of them, but it's one of the biggest examples in American history. The DuPont executives were responsible for dumping PFOA, also known as forever chemicals, into the water sources. And if you know anything about rivers and lakes and oceans, they're all connected. They also knew the effects of these forever chemicals and what it could do to human beings, but they still did it. This is an example of pure, unadulterated evil. By the way, these chemicals don't break down. They've led to cancer, birth defects, kidney failure, and all manner of diseases to this day. And remember, they didn't face any jail time. This is not part of their crime statistics. And the people that look like them, that do these major crimes, that no little street violence or petty thievery in the hood or the ghettos could ever compare to. This is not based upon environment, circumstance. This is based upon a low moral standard that these people have. Really, they have absolutely no morals. And when you put power into the hands of those kind of people, these are the type of things that happen. True criminals. And here's the funny part. They knew the dangers of these chemicals. The documents proved that they were aware of the effects that these would cause on the people, but they kept dumping it anyway and continued to make billions in profit. Conservative estimates, and I'll say very conservative estimates, say that about 70,000 people were unalived by these actions. More than 70,000 people, excuse me, were unalived by these actions. That's not just malpractice, that's mass unaliving. And like I said, these statistics are not added to their per capita. It's about time we dispel the lies and expose the true face of criminality, because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing the lies. I'm tired of seeing and hearing the hypocrisy. And most don't have the knowledge that I have concerning these things, so most don't say anything about it. But we're in a new time, a new era, an era of truth. And this is what I'm coming to bring. And all of this makes petty street crime microscopic. And by the way, no one from DuPont went to jail. No one was let out in handcuffs. No one was put on the news as the face of criminality, as one of the worst criminals in American history. Nope. They just paid fines, which were fractions of the billions that they collected. These are criminals that affect not only you and me, but the world negatively. Some little gangbanger in his hood, who is he affecting? But his own little neighborhood. Who is affecting the world negatively? Who has the power to destroy hundreds of thousands through criminal activity that just happens to not be within the crime statistics? I'll leave that answer for you to figure out. It only takes a little bit of common sense. When it's somebody from a black neighborhood that commits a crime, right? They're held up as some sort of proof of a dangerous people to avoid, and a dangerous culture, which I would agree that the culture has been heavily manipulated through the music and movies, which these kind of people own those corporations as well, by the way. Right? These hypocrisies and double standards are what I'm trying to dismantle. You see, when it's these petty crimes that are being done, now we can clearly classify it as crimes, not just petty crimes, but even unalivings and serious things. These things are automatically classified as crimes, able to be put in the FBI's data and in their statistics and their per capitas. But when it comes to these corporate unalivings that lead to tens of thousands of deaths, or really hundreds of thousands of deaths ultimately, all of a sudden it's complicated. They don't know how to classify this. We'll classify it as something like malconduct, which is laughable. If you were to put that into the per capita argument, it would dwarf anything that the FBI could conjure up as it relates to today's crime statistics. So if you're going to put an image to crime, again, let's be truthful. Let's put the right image. When you're talking about per capita rates, which is one of the most common racist talking points when they're trying to come up against, black people, they speak about the per capita murder rate or crime rate of black people. When you take similar income communities, you take lower class communities, poor communities, the data shows that it's pretty much the same when it comes to crime rates, including violent crime. It's very similar. Why? Because poverty is also connected to crime. It's not that complicated, but they deliberately choose to evade that point so that they can paint a narrative, because they do not have good intentions for you, black men. They do not have good intentions for you. And a lot of them do not want to hear the truth. They're not interested in hearing the truth. When the truth comes to them, if it does not fit the narrative they want to believe, they will ignore it and dismiss it. This is what you call cognitive dissonance. The data shows when you compare similar economic backgrounds, the crime rate is similar in those neighborhoods. When you compare similar neighborhoods, meaning they're of the same economic background, they have similar crime rates as well. Now, I would argue even that our crime rates are heavily also influenced by this new culture that has been developed. And we're going to have to get into that in another series as well. This gangster rap culture, the movies that have been pushed. Don't think that this was by chance. This was not by chance at all. This was very much deliberate. Don't worry, there's a lot more to come. Like I said, like and subscribe. The truth is, if you cared about crime and unaliving rates, your judgment would be equal all around the board. Whether it be someone from some project with a gun or a big corporation signing off on poisoning an entire town, you would look at it with disgust and you would look at them as crimes. Of course, there's different levels to crimes. Some is worse than others. But you would use that to judge your metrics on who should be the face of crime and not what you see on CNN or Fox News. And I'll hit you with something else in closing. Think about this. When somebody has rules and regulations in front of him, they tend to behave when they know that there's consequences behind their actions. But when somebody has power and feels that they're above the law, their actions show what's really inside of their spirit. Meaning that someone with strong moral character, no matter what position of power you put them in, they're going to do the right thing. But others who have dark intentions, an evil spirit, an evil soul, will do what is in their spirit and in their soul, which is evil. When you see particular CEOs and people that own banks and so on and so forth, and they sign certain things that destroy many, many people. And I'm not going to go into detail because I have to watch what I say on YouTube, but that's because that's what's inside of them. These type of people, I don't believe you can change. You could take certain criminals off the street that are gangbangers or, dealing narcotics and you can change them. But I don't believe a lot of these people that are doing these type of acts, these heartless acts, when they really don't even have to do it. They're in such a position that they can just enjoy what they have and they decide to do those acts anyway. I believe that those people are inherently criminals and that they're doing these crimes because they can get away with it. So this is something to think about in today's series, Who Should Be the Face of Crime, Episode 1.